motorcycle rider seen on this surveillance tape is Nick O'Leary, the grandson of legendary golfer Jack Nicklaus and starting tight end for the Florida State Seminoles. O'Leary was involved in this horrifying motorcycle accident on May 2nd in Tallahassee, Florida. This surveillance video captured the event, which shows O'Leary riding his motorcycle down a Tallahassee street when a car cuts across the road. O'Leary strikes the car and goes flying just past the windshield of a bus. Miraculously, O'Leary walked away from the wreck, and Florida State does not list him as injured. A police report says O'Leary was taken to the hospital and treated for minor injuries, and the other car was found responsible for the wreck.
What is up, YouTube world? It's Jay Coffee Talk. Thanks for tuning in. We got some sports news, some football news. In that clip you saw right there, you heard the news report. That is Nick O'Leary, tight end who went to Florida State and, in the NFL was drafted by my team, the Buffalo Bills. All the Bills fans out there, make sure you guys drop a Go Bills or a Bills Mafia in the comments. But man, what a crazy accident that was. That was back in 2013, when he was still, playing for Florida State. And crazy enough, you heard what they said. He walked away from that. He didn't even end up on the injury report. But, Nick O'Leary, for all the football fans out there, tap in the comments, share your opinion of him as a player, your favorite moments, big games that he had or whatever. As a Bills fan, I just kind of wanted to share some news about Nick O'Leary and kind of give my take on him. But, when he was coming into the draft, I always am a big on who our tight end is. As a football fan, tight end is a big deal to me. A great tight end is so pivotal for the offense. I mean, every position is important, but there's just something that could spark an offense, something about having a great tight end. So when we drafted Nick O'Leary, I was very interested to see what he could do, because one of my buddies is he's like a college guru. He's more of a NCAA, a college football fan rather than an NFL fan, and he had a lot of great things to say about Nick O'Leary. And aside from that too, I just want to point out, all you ever hear about this guy is that he's the grandson of Jack Nicklaus, legendary golf player Jack Nicklaus and everything. And it's just kind of crazy too. O'Leary was a Buffalo Bill when we broke the drought and made the playoffs. And it was interesting because Jack Nicklaus is indeed a Dolphins fan, but he was celebrating with the Bills when we made the playoffs. So it was just kind of interesting. And we had beaten the Dolphins as well. If you guys all remember, we beat the Dolphins and the Bengals beat the Ravens and we got in. But anyways, getting back to Nick O'Leary, there was all this, talk about how great he was and that's a great addition to your team. So I was really interested, as I said, to see what he could do. But, his NFL career really didn't pan out like that. I'm not saying he was horrible. He just didn't get on the field that much. If you recall, with the Bills, he entered in 2015 and he was with us for 15, 16, and 17. And in that time, he was cut, placed on the practice squad, activated to the active roster a few times. But in the end, he ended up getting 32 receptions and had 2 touchdowns as a Buffalo Bill. And, he made some great plays out there, even though he wasn't out there that much. I always remember, being on Twitter and talking in Buffalo Bills forums and everything. Whenever O'Leary was out there, everyone would always get a kick how he didn't wear no gloves. It's like anytime O'Leary made a nice play, they'd be like, hashtag no gloves, hashtag no gloves. And, he was a pretty, he had some good hands, and he was also pretty physical out there as well. As we know with the tight end position, some guys are more of a receiving tight end, some guys are more of a blocking tight end, and O'Leary can do a little bit of both. But he just, he didn't get that much playing time with us. And after his 3 years, he was given his walking papers, went to the Dolphins for 2 years, and then to the Jaguars, where he really, didn't put up much big numbers either. But recently, the news came, or I'm sorry, not recently, but over the last season, since off season kicked in, news had hit that he signed with the Raiders, and Gruden was going to take an interest in this guy, and maybe he would live up to the expectations that everyone had for him coming out of college. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to say this guy's not a good player. I'm just trying to say, you know how it is when guys come out of college. The expectations can be through the roof. It doesn't really matter. Some guys, they don't pan out that, in the NFL, their career just don't pan out like everyone thought it would. And then some guys are a diamond in the rough. They weren't on anyone's radar. They don't even get drafted. They come into the league undrafted and set the NFL on fire and shock and amaze everyone. And O'Leary was a guy that had, interest from a lot of people. He showed his college career started out a little slow, but by the end he had set some Florida State records, and everyone was talking about him. So when he came into the NFL, he was, with the Bills, he was losing the positional battles in camp and in the off season. So, a lot of people, myself included, were kind of keeping an eye on him. What's Gruden going to do with them over there, with the Raiders? I almost said Oakland. Now, we all know they're Vegas. But, and maybe a new coaching system, a new offense, and then the fact that he's been in the league a little while now, maybe his game's maturing a little more. Maybe, he'll really, really make a huge impact out there and show everyone what he can do. Well, news came recently that Nick O'Leary was indeed retiring at the age of 27. And it was kind of crazy. Like, what's going on with this guy? Well, now we found out he isn't retiring. What the deal is Nick O'Leary, at the young age of 27, had a heart attack and had to have open heart surgery. He had a artery on the right side of his heart 100% blocked, had a heart attack, had to have a couple stints put in there. And, he wants to take a year off from football. And, he'll take it easy, get healthy, and then come back the next year and, try to get on the field for the Raiders and show everyone what he can do. So that's another chapter in the story of Nick O'Leary. You know what I mean? It's like, for a guy that hasn't necessarily have had the biggest NFL career, he's got a story behind him. You could make a movie about this guy at this point. He's the grandson of a, golf legend, Jack Nicklaus. We saw that crazy motorcycle crash he was in that he walked away from and went out and played. He made it to the NFL. He was with the Bills when we broke the playoff drought, you know what I mean? And now he had heart issues at a young age. So, next year, 2021, will O'Leary be healthy? Will he be able to push on with the Raiders? We'll have to wait and see. I guess, the main issue of why it wasn't just that he wanted to rest up, though. It was also had to do with the medications that he has to now take after the heart surgery. The blood thinners, they're not good. I guess he only has to be on them heavily for like a year, and they're just not safe to be on and then go play in the NFL. But what does everyone out there think about this? All the football fans, I'm interested to know what you guys think of Nick O'Leary. All my fellow Buffalo Bills fans, get in the comments. Let me know some of your favorite plays. As I stated, O'Leary hasn't, had a great career, but, that one season when we did, make the playoffs, I believe that was his biggest season as a pro, and he had some nice plays out there. You know what I mean? I remember seeing those hashtag no gloves all over Twitter. quite a few times that season. You know, he didn't put up big numbers, but he made some plays and helped his team win. So everyone, get in the comments with your thoughts about, everything that I touched on this video. As I said, let me know your thoughts of O'Leary as a player, some memories you have of him, whether it was in college or with the Bills or with the Dolphins or the Jaguars or whatever. Let me know your thoughts on it all. Make sure to sub to the channel and hit the notification bell. I cover music, news, sports, current events, and much more. And come NFL season, come football season, to all the football fans out there, guys, we're going to be putting out a lot of NFL content. And on this channel, it's all about talking with you guys. So we're going to be talking football. It's going to be fun. So make sure to sub, get in the comments. Can't wait to, chop it up with all the NFL fans, come football season. And also, anyone out there got to open it in a fantasy football league for an out-of-towner, let me know. Jay Coffee Talk's trying to get into a fantasy league this year. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm out of here. Hope, best of wishes out there to Nick O'Leary. Get healthy, stay in shape, and, keep pushing. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.